Hi Taurus, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. Make sure you're subscribed down below so you won't miss any further videos. So this is going to be a love and spirituality reading for Taurus for the month of November. And this will be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Okay, so let's jump right into it. And I'll also be doing an extended video where I will be doing 2 spreads. Usually I do just 1 spread in my extended videos. I'll just expand on the YouTube video. But this month I'm doing 2 spreads. I'm doing this spread and then also the working with your shadow spread. So be sure to check that out when you're done watching this one. Alright, Taurus, let's see what's going on for the month of November. Pulling for past position first. I'm getting that some of you are feeling uncomfortable, being forced out of your comfort zone in some way. Might have had to make a major life decision or a major change within the past month, which I feel is a good thing, because for the last couple of months my Taurus readings have had a lot of stuck energy, like being stuck in a situation or being stuck in a certain mindset. So something might have happened that forced you out of your comfort zone, and if not, something could be coming up that's going to force you out of your comfort zone, but in a good way, not in a bad way. I know it sounds bad for Tauruses to be forced out of where you're most comfortable, but sometimes that's needed. The 9 of Pentacles comes up in the past position. Hold on, let me fix my camera. Is that good? Okay. So the 9 of Pentacles comes up in the past position. So that makes sense. I mean, the last couple of readings I've had for Tauruses, like I said, I've been feeling this sense of codependency, or this reliance on things outside of yourself in order to make you happy. So it makes sense that the 9 of Pentacles is coming up in the past position. Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, so past position, 9 of Cups, 4 of Wands in reverse. So like I said, your environment was keeping you very unhappy, but you were relying on it for your happiness, so you weren't trying to exit it, if that makes sense. So it's like you were in a relationship, or you were in a home environment, or you were in a career, take it as it resonates, that it did not make you happy, but because you were so comfortable in it and because you relied on it for your sense of security for so long, you just chose to stick it out, even though the longer you stayed in the situation, the more your self-esteem was diminishing, the more you were losing yourself, and the more you weren't feeling confident. I feel like with whatever the situation was, it made you feel quite invisible, is what I'm getting. Like you had to fight to be seen, or you had to fight to be heard. And like I said, because you were so comfortable in it, you just didn't leave it, or you just did not exit it. And if it's not a physical situation, it could just be emotionally. It's like you could have broken up with someone, or you could have parted ways with someone, and emotionally you still felt tied to them, or you still felt stuck to them, and you still felt like you wanted to fight for them, or fight for their attention, or fight for their validation. So for some of you, this is actually a move out of a home. So some of you could have been forced to move out of a home and you felt like you weren't prepared for it, or you just know it's time for you to live on your own and you feel kind of hesitant about that. Like just really being afraid of being independent is what I'm seeing. So you were willing to stay in situations that just weren't causing you happiness, because like I said, you have this fear of independence, and usually a fear of independence means that you have a fear of failure in some way. Like you're afraid that if you step out on your own and cut ties with whatever you're comfortable with, you're just going to end up failing and having to crawl back to where you started from, you know? So that could be the situation for some of you. And that's the past position. So we're going to see the present. I'm just getting a very sad energy from that 9 of Pentacles and that 4 of Wands, because some of you, this 4 of Wands is the twin flame card, so some of you could feel like you have a twin flame, or feel like you met your twin flame. I'm just getting this energy of you really putting someone up on a pedestal that they don't necessarily deserve to be on. Like you're seeing them, or you were seeing them as some type of prize. and you weren't really seeing that you are the actual prize. So hopefully, because this is in the past, you know, you've come to that realization, but it's taking you a while to see that this person is not some type of God, you know what I'm saying, that needs to be put up on a pedestal, and that you need to fight for their love or fight for their attention, because you're the actual prize in this situation. You just don't see it. All right, so I feel like that's for a small group of you, though. Let's see for the present position, Taurus. I'm just feeling so uncomfortable, like I need to keep moving around. I feel like that's the energy that I'm picking up from you, just this discomfort. You're in like this very uncomfortable transitional period where you're trying to move from one space to another, either mentally or physically, and it's very uncomfortable for Tauruses. Let's see, present. The Page of Swords, okay. So progress is what I'm hearing. Okay, all right. So you have made progress is what I'm seeing with the Page of Swords and with the Ten of Pentacles. Some of you have met someone recently that you may be feeling like you can build something with long term. It could be a long distance relationship or a long distance partnership where you're mainly talking on the internet or on the phone, but you're feeling very positive about this, and you are feeling like this could grow into something long term. Some of you, you're just changing your mindset about your happiness and your stability long term. So I feel like before, with this being in your past, you had an idea of what you wanted long term, and you were sticking to that, but it wasn't making you happy. And now you are kind of changing your mind about it, and now you are seeing things from a different perspective, or you have shifted your mental energy, and now you're seeing that that situation was never going to make you happy, and it just did not have the right dynamics within it for it to grow to something long term. So now you are switching up your focus, and now you are going after the things that really make you happy, and the things that you really can have long term, and you really can have happiness and stability. But you have to first let go of all those things or those people or those situations that made you feel like you were worthless, or made you feel like you were inadequate, or made you feel like you had to fight for that love, because you can't reach this Ten of Pentacles, happy long-term commitment and stability. You can't reach that with this energy from your past. This energy from your past is just not feeling good on your own, you know, and then trying to build something with someone else. You have to first flip this around. You have to first feel this Nine of Pentacles to reach this Ten of Pentacles. So you have to first feel good, happy on your own, finding your own sense of happiness, not finding happiness outside of yourself externally. You have to first find it within. And once you find it within, that's when you can start manifesting a long-term happy partnership. And I feel like some of you are really coming to that realization after a long period of time of being stuck. Is like you're finally starting to see clearly, and you're starting to see the bigger picture. So I feel like this month, a theme for Taurus is going to be how to find happiness within and not rely on your external environment for it. So that's the present position. Let's move on to November for the rest of the month. Sorry, I'm trying so hard not to bang the cards so loud on the table, because when I watch this back, I'm like, oh my god, the damn cards are so loud. Okay. Let's see for the month of November. Okay, the Lover's card is here in the reverse. So in the month of November, it may be time to take a break from relationships or from the dating scene, unless it's like, you know, casual dating. It just looks like this is not for all of you, but for some of you, it just looks like this is naturally how you're going to be feeling. You're just going to be feeling like, okay, I just want to be by myself. I don't even want to even put energy into a relationship at this time. I just want to focus on me. So that's for some of you. Let's see. I just feel like a lot of you are tired of feeling vulnerable, like you're tired of feeling almost naked, because you could have really bared your soul to someone and just things did not work out in your favor, And so I feel like in the month of November, like I said, you're just tired of feeling like raw and naked and vulnerable. And so you're wanting to kind of retreat and take some time to yourself. That's for some of you. Ace of Swords, yeah. So I feel like this has already happened though, but I feel like the month of November is just going to expand on it. I feel like you have gained some type of clarity about someone from your past that you had a strong connection to. And like I said, I feel like you already gained this clarity, but in the month of November, you're gaining even more. And I'm not saying that more information is coming out about this person. I think that your mind is going to just be working in overtime in the month of November to the point where things are just going to start to click. I'm not saying that you're going to sit around obsessing over the situation or you're going to sit around like really thinking it over. I think that you are pretty much detached from it, or you are detaching from it. And because you're detaching from it, you are going to be able to think clearly about it. You know how when you're trying to figure something out and you're like fixated on trying to figure it out and figure that person out and solve the problem and things are just not working out, and the minute you step back from it, suddenly everything becomes clear and you're like, oh, okay, that's what I wasn't seeing. That's what I was missing. You know, I feel like that's what is coming in for the month of November for you. So you're going to be gaining clarity about, like I said, a person who you had a strong connection with, who it just didn't work out with. And I feel like the clarity that you're gaining is that this person represents an aspect of yourself that you have somehow suppressed or that you have somehow failed to pay attention to. For example, if you were dealing with someone who is very driven, motivated, and ambitious, that could be a side of you that you are wanting to come to the forefront. You're wanting to be more driven, more ambitious. But you couldn't really see or have the confidence to see that that's possible for you to become that type of person. So you cross paths with this person so that they can show you like this inner side, so they could show you this aspect of yourself that you have been suppressing. I hope I'm explaining that right. I feel like that's a part of the clarity that you're getting because this person was meant to show you, like I said, a part of yourself so that then you can become whole. Because I feel like you have not felt whole for a very long time. You felt fractured, or you feel like half, like you're looking for your other half because you feel like half, but you're not a half, you're a whole. And the only reason you feel like a half is because there's this aspect of yourself that you're suppressing. And I feel like that other person is showing you, is trying to blatantly show you, this is what you have been suppressing. This is a side of you that needs to come out. And that's why you're not feeling whole. So like I said, the example that keeps running in my mind is like, if you are someone who you know that you have big dreams and big goals, but you're not as ambitious because you're not as confident, but then you meet someone who you fall in love with who's very confident and very ambitious, but maybe, you know, you have something that they lack as well. So it's, you know, it goes both ways. But you meet that person and then suddenly you are seeing in human form, you're seeing the embodiment of who you could be. But a lot of people miss that because they focus on, okay, this relationship didn't work out. I wanted it to work out. I wanted to be with this person forever. But sometimes they are, like I said, just a human mirror of who you are supposed to be embodying. So I feel like that's a large part of what you're going to be learning in the month of November, or realizing in the month of November. So if you miss somebody and you really, really miss them, obviously that's normal because you had an attachment to them. But a way that you can kind of get past missing them is to start embodying some of the traits that they have and start applying them to your life. And I know that sounds very bizarre, but it definitely does work because I've used this method before. Like I've missed someone and I'm just like, okay, I miss them, but I can't have them and I miss their energy. So then I start embodying their energy. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Oh, they're confident? I'm going to start being confident. Oh, they're peaceful? I'm going to start being peaceful. You see what I'm saying? It's like you miss them, but you really miss yourself, the aspect of yourself that they brought out or that they show you. All right, so I feel like that's enough rambling with that. I hope that that made sense to you. So let's see what else for the month of November. Okay, Taurus, November. The Seven of Wands. Hermit in reverse. Some of you could have been dealing with a Virgo. The Hermit card coming out. I don't see any other sign. Oh, Gemini. You could have been dealing with the Gemini too. So the Hermit card is here in reverse and the Seven of Wands is here. So in the month of November, it looks like you are feeling like you want to go into seclusion. You are feeling like very conflicted because a part of you wants to go into seclusion and be by yourself, but a part of you still wants to be open and vulnerable and still have these connections with people. I feel like a lot of you are fearing that you're going to become very closed off and your heart is going to become very cold. So you're like being pulled in different directions. It's like a part of you is like, okay, because I got hurt so bad, I just want to shut down and never love anybody again. But then a part of you is telling you, no, you don't do that. You're giving your power away by thinking that. Don't do it. So you're being pulled in two different directions. And I feel like both directions are right. In this case, I feel like you do have to become somewhat closed off, but not fully. Like you have to just start to put up those healthy boundaries so that you don't just let just anyone in. But at the same time, you still need to stay open to new people and to new opportunities that are good for you. So like I said, I feel like some of you are being pulled in two different directions. Like you want to shut down, but you're like, I know that's not the right thing to do. So just integrate both of them, I feel, in the month of November. Practice setting very healthy boundaries, but also practice opening yourself up to receiving love and happiness. So for example, if someone asks you on a date and they're showing genuine interest in you, there's nothing wrong with going out on that date. You don't have to, get attached to that person or open yourself up completely, but allow yourself to feel the energy of being around someone who wants you or who admires you or who respects you. Like give yourself an opportunity to experience that feeling. So hang around people who make you a priority and hang around people who make it clear that you are wanted and that you're not just tolerated. And I feel like that's going to help to combat some of this energy. Am I getting anything else for that? Nope, that's all I'm getting for that. Okay, Taurus, I'm going to show you the cards and then we will move on to the extended. So I will be right back. Okay, Taurus, so here is your spread. So it looks like I said in the last part of your video, that the month of November is definitely a focus on abundance, but abundance from within. So finding that happiness and that wealth within so that then you can manifest it into your external environment. Because first you have to feel right and happy within yourself in order for you to even have the confidence to move towards the things that you want and to manifest the things that you deserve. So a lot of clarity is coming your way in the month of November. A lot of epiphanies and realizations. They may force you to want to go into isolation because the realizations can kind of hit you so hard, especially with you being a fixed earth sign. It's like when you get comfortable, you get very comfortable. So having an epiphany that changes the way you view the world or the way you view yourself can really just kind of shake you up. So give yourself time to process those feelings. I don't think there's anything too major that's going to happen because, I mean, obviously the Tower card isn't here. I don't really see any major realizations that you're going to have to the point where it's going to be devastating, but I do feel like it's going to shift the way you think about yourself or the way you think about certain situations from your past, but in a good way, because your thoughts needed to shift because the way you were seeing things just was not benefiting you or was keeping you stuck. So I think that is it. I'm trying to see if any other messages come through. Just take a second to look at the cards and see if any intuitive messages come through to you. And that's why I've been showing the cards to all of the signs, because I feel like it's one thing for me to kind of interpret the cards and read them to you. It's another thing for you to see them for yourself and to see the pictures and see what pops out at you. So just take a second to look and see if anything stands out. For those of you who have started something new or you've met someone and you're doing a long distance thing, be sure that you take things very slowly. Slow and steady wins the race in this sort of situation, especially if it's long distance, especially if you've met online. Just take things very slowly, be very realistic, and you are an earth sign, so that is something that you are good at anyway, being very grounded and being really realistic about whatever love connections that you are in. So yeah, just continue to do that and go very slowly. It could turn into a very prosperous relationship and it could last long term, but just remember that anything that is built to last is built slowly. So just take your time with it, no rush. And this month also try to go out and have some fun. Don't spend too much time in isolation, kind of wallowing in self-pity or causing yourself to be even more depressed. Try to get up and force yourself to be social or to socialize, because that could really take your mind off of any of your troubles or any of your problems this month. So I think that is it. I think that's it. Money is looking good this month with the 10 of Pentacles being there. Looks like a lot of you are going to be getting a lot of work done, especially because your mind is more clear than it has been in the past couple of months. So now you can actually focus on career things and money and things along those lines. So that is a good thing. So yeah, I think that that's it, Taurus. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to extend this spread on Vimeo, and I will leave the link to that in the description box down below. And I will also be doing the working with your shadow spread as well. So I'll be doing 2 spreads in the extended this month. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that it was helpful, and I will see you guys over on Vimeo. Bye.